We're wired outside 500 Pearl Street. And listen, the Diddy trial just got out. This was a turning, devastating point. Everybody wanted to see where the RICO lined up. They finally bought out Diddy's executive assistant, okay? However, they did a last-minute immunity deal. He was going to plead the fifth. He came out and gave a last-minute immunity deal. This changed everything. Diddy's team was stuck. However, he is the first piece in the forced labor. This is the assistant they said is forced labor. Forced labor in with the RICO carries a life sentence. Again, remember they said if you are not testifying, you are a co-conspirator. They gave an immunity. That was incredible. But then on top of that, they had an expert witness actually testify. And baby, when I tell you this expert witness tore up the floor, she was so knowledgeable, so exact. She bought in why Cassie testified the way she is and why everybody is doing that. Diddy's team had like an hour just slow walking it, dragging, trying to make it look like she's a charlatan when this girl has basically invented. When you hear her credentials, you're like, oh, so basically you invented psychology, I get it. And they were trying to turn this into the government was trying to go. On top of that, we did have his other assistant in his testimony. It was also super amazing. We are going to get everything from the top to the top. But remember when I said I was going to have people in the street tell us what they think? Look who I found. James, get over here. We have James right now. James, get in here, okay? All right,
What's
listen.
up, everybody? James R. Sanders here, celebrity fashion stylist, fashion editor, and for the course of this court, I am covering for Essence Magazine, and I have opinions, but what's up, Tisa Tells? Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Listen, James is celebrity stylist, fashion. So if y'all see me coming in here next week looking good, you know he put me down with someone that got me together.
Period.
That's right. So listen,
right,
James. You've been following the trial, of course, right?
Of course.
Really quick, let me give a shout out to the people that pay my bills. Hold on.
Okay, take care of your money, honey.
I know that's right. I love to hear it. Tony Mitchell, thank you so much. Okay, so listen, James, right? Where are you right now with the trial? I know you've been following it. Let's start with the overall.
Okay.
Overall, where do you think the trial's going?
So I think that the prosecution is doing an okay job.
Okay.
They've not convinced me yet fully about coercion. And I think that the defense really did their thing with Dawn. I think that Dawn really gave a damning testimony on the other side. And I think that Nicole Westmoreland really kind of went hard in the paint.
Miss Westmoreland,
she's no joke.
She was the MVP.
She ain't nothing to play with.
She was the MVP, yes.
Okay, she ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
But I think that today's testimony from Dr. Hughes.
She ate it all the way up.
Now listen, they spent 10 minutes going over her qualifications.
Yes, very qualified.
Okay, and that kind of put me to sleep. But then when she started talking about, giving scientific excuses as to the reasoning behind why Cassie stayed and why she did some of the things that she did, it kind of made sense. And so I think that the prosecution really kind of is giving the jury some really interesting things to think about from a scientific standpoint. And it gives the people some interesting things to think about as to why Cassie would stay as long as she did. And I think that that answers the reasons that the public had for why is she still here? Why was she still here? And that's important.
I think they did a great job of doing that. You know, I talked about, first of all, only one guy. Thank you so much for the super chats.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It's not my money, but still thank you.
No,
Support
but
I'm
taking them out to dinner. I'm taking them out to dinner.
Okay,
so
period. And you know I look like I know how to eat.
Yes, right now, James is getting taken to McDonald's, but with your help, we can go to a steakhouse.
Okay, period.
So listen, I do think that I thought it was thrown off when a lot of people was like, oh my God, Cassie got raped. Why would she go with Diddy after that?
Right.
And I'm like, but let's put it in focus. Cassie told us she almost literally choked to death by Sean and the escort urinating on her. She has been drugged up and down. I said, out of everything that happened to her in the last 10 years, and all the degradation, I feel like the grape on her living room floor was the least of it. Why did she go back? Because she'd been going back.
Right.
So, but I do think the extra testimony, and I was in the jury, I was in the room looking at the jury. The jury was locked in, sitting up, paying attention, and the defense was nervous about that because she was hitting those home runs. And even the way she was answering, we're going to go into details in a second, but even the way she was answering, it made her seem more credible. She was like, correct. She was eating that. So,
and you know that's different because the other day one of them was asleep.
Yes.
One of them was catching Z's.
Yes, and today the jury was locked in. So I don't think it was a good day for the defense. So put it like this: when you say you don't think they actually did prove coercion,
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Yes.
No, but what do you mean by that?
So, with the mex trafficking, and I'll use the acronym like how you did. Because I'm a Tisa Tells lifetime fan, okay?
Yeah.
I do my homework. So with the mex trafficking, okay?
Yes.
In order for you to prove, that particular charge, you have to be able to prove the coercion piece.
Yes.
Which means that her mind was controlled by him. And so in order for you to do that...
You don't think the testimony of him directing her how to do the escorts down from arch her back, move the lights to the point Cassie was sucking her teeth where
that went wrong was the text messages that the defense brought up. And if you remember, they had hundreds of pages of text messages. And they brought up several pages where she was actually initiating it. And so, but today's testimony from the psychiatrist, psychologist showed why.
I love that.
Before today, we hadn't seen any kind of reasoning from a scientific standpoint as to why that would have made sense. Today, the jury got a scientific perspective that may have changed their minds. But before today, that coercion piece wasn't present. Now we're seeing another perspective.
So let me read this, and then I have a question for you. Think about this while we can super chat. What would they need to show you for you to truly be like, okay, this was coercion? Think about it. Just think about it, okay? Gabriel Jacobs said, I'm a UPS driver, and you keep me updated while I'm on these streets delivering. Thanks for all you do. I hope you're one of those good UPS drivers that actually stop, because my UPS drivers just be leaving that sorry we missed you note and don't even stop by. But I'm joking. Shout out to UPS. Only one God, thank you so much for the super chat again. Tatiana, welcome to the family. Also, Vera Everett said, not much, but thank you. Girl, this is everything. Thank you. James is getting a steak now. Not much, but you're doing an amazing job. Thank you, sweet girl. Also, really quick, Kizzy Parks, what's up? And also, oh my God, Alicia, James is actually ordering some sides too. There's your loaded baked potato. Said, I appreciate you, T. Said, thank you so much. And also, Shonda Muse, thank you so much for joining the family.
That's sweet.
Yeah, Liza Galetta said, keep up the good work. Phoebe Burrows said, you're the best girl. First time sending anyone super chat. Thank you so much.
Support the next Wendy Williams.
Yes. Oh, stop it. Friend Wendy, I wish she was here to let us know what was going on with Diddy.
She will be soon.
Don't
count the queen out.
Exactly. Denver said, Tisa, keep going, girl. You a damn good job. Thank you so much. And also, Becky Riley, thank you so much. Lisa Bruno said, so pretty, love your passion. Get it, girl. She's talking to you, James. Okay, so let's get into it. So, James, where we last left our beleaguered hero. So, what do you think? What would the prosecution need to do? I mean, at this point, for you to really see that coercion?
They're going to have to bring in more witnesses.
Okay.
Now, tomorrow we know that Mr. Muscudi, and if you know that's AKA Kid Cudi, will be in to testify.
Yes.
Currently, we left and we were let out about 10 after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the middle of one of Diddy's assistants.
Yes.
But he'll be starting the testimony tomorrow. But right after him, Kid Cudi is scheduled to testify.
Yes, so he will be testifying.
Witness.
So what do you think? Did you catch what the prosecution said about Gina?
So listen.
Yes,
they said
Gina Hunt is victim 3, and Mark Agnefilia was like, Gina's not coming because it looks like she flipped for Diddy. And all I gotta say is, once a fool, always a fool. Girl, I don't care. Like, do you not think he's not gonna punish her for even opening this with
Wasn't that a shame?
It was a shame.
You know that was a darn shame.
It was a shame. We are going to get into that. It was super sad.
That was so sad.
So Gina Hunt has been confirmed as victim number 3. Gina Hunt does not want to testify.
Where is she, Tisa?
Diddy probably got her on an island somewhere.
You
like
think he
literally.
Sent that baby off?
I do. But the thing is,
sent that baby with her baby off?
Yeah, but they might have screwed each other. They might have screwed it over because Suli Buchanan. Thank you so much for the super chat, Liza Goretti. Thank you for joining the family.
Come on,
Antoinette
Liza.
Ingram, thank you so much for the super chat.
Period,
Also,
Liza.
Thrift Goddess said, I wish we could all look as beautiful as you are. They still talking to you, James.
Aw.
Pamela Fine, thank you so much for the super chat. Jay Garcia said, girl, me and my husband in every day with you. Your coverage is everything. We appreciate. Oh, thank you. Stay prayed
not
up and
lying.
saved. And also, in press, thank you so much for the super chat. And Patrice G, thank you for the super chat. Now, here's the thing. Gina is not testifying, okay? But I feel like Diddy's team might have screwed themselves over. Why? Because they keep bringing up Gina's name, and they thought they were safe. Somebody almost got run over.
I don't know, honey.
You
I
all
thought
right?
it was a drive-by. I was ready to duck. Honey,
So,
'cause you know,
yeah.
listen.
They literally are bringing up Gina's name. So the prosecution is like, okay, you want to play like that? Guess what? We're not calling you as a witness because you don't want to come. But since the defense keeps bringing up your name, we're going to bring the sworn statements that we have from you when we were interviewing you. And since you don't want to come and talk about it, we can enter this. Now the defense was like, Your Honor, this is ridiculous. And Judge Aaron was like, listen, he was looking like he was leaning to tell the prosecution,
Right.
you can use your statements. And then Mark Agafilio was like, Yana, we'll get a letter in by 10 p.m., Yana, right? And Judge Aaron was like, oh, God, okay, fine.
That was sad.
It was sad. Also,
They said Gina's name like 8 times.
yes, but the thing is, it's because they thought that they could get, and her not testifying. But Gina,
You
I
think
don't
she
know.
got a couple coins to go away?
Honestly, I think Gina would have did it for free. I think she genuinely trauma bond and thinks she loves that man. I think all he would need to do is give her a gold star and a kiss on the forehead. I really honestly do. She has been down since the beginning. Also, Nunya B said his pink Tucci rug looks the same pink as Benadryl. His Tucci does look like the same pink. Diddy had a whole pharmacy in that. Like
Did.
plastic straws, rolled up $100 bills, all testing positive. Also, Bernice
That's
Layton,
sad.
thank you so much for the super chat. Careful Calypso said, we love you, Tisa, thank you. And Shantae Mahoney, thank you for joining the family. Oh, we have a few more, hold on. Ventura's, Miss
Oh, that's
Nicole's
nice.
house. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Why
y'all.
Ventura said, Tisa, you're amazing. Keep advocating. And Defo said, hey, James, Nat and Defo team are watching you. Love
Okay,
Tisa.
y'all. Y'all
I
gotta
know
keep your
that's
eyes
right.
on it.
I know that's
Keep
right.
your eyes
Okay,
on
so
it.
listen. Final takeaway, final thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think at this point that there's a chance that Diddy's going to be able to beat?
I think
Answer
that-
honestly.
All right, honestly,
Honestly.
I don't think he's going to get hit with all 5 charges.
Okay.
Because even Warren G and Nate Dogg said, I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
But I do think he's going to get hit with something. He got to get hit with something.
Yes.
Do I think he's going to get a life charge? Absolutely not.
But he's 60. So you have 40 to 60. That's 100. I know
He's going to Harlem shake his way out of something.
40, 60 plus 40 is 100. And no offense, after the way we've seen Diddy's Tucci use, you think he's making it past 80, 85?
Your mathematics is on point,
I'm just
Tisa.
saying, he's not the most healthy man out
All
there.
them super chats got your math together, Tisa.
So you think that he won't get hit with all the charges, but you think they're going to bang him with a few,
He
right?
gotta get something.
Yeah, I agree with
Anybody
you.
from Harlem gotta get something. He gonna Harlem shake his way out of something.
You
He
guilty
got
by
to.
association.
He got to.
James, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Listen,
My pleasure.
Yes, this week.
Everybody,
on the
be
Good
sure
End.
to follow me on Instagram.
Oh yes, you guys, get
On
in.
Instagram, TikTok, and also on my YouTube channel, all James R. Sanders, all one word, JamesRSanders, and follow my coverage at Essence Magazine. You can't
I'm
miss
loyal
it.
to James. Make sure
Thank
give
you,
your
Tisa.
socials one more time, just in case.
Yes, at James R. Sanders, all one word. Thank you, Tisa. It's
All right.
always a pleasure.
Okay, baby.
I
I'll see you
appreciate
soon.
See
Okay.
you tomorrow morning.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
All right, so you guys listen. We got James, go in there. We also have all the notes. We about to get into it really quick. Really quick, Teresa Bullock, thank you so much. Lindsay Alos, you said 2C. Oh, is that how they make it pink? 2C has food coloring in it. Who knew? Okay. Yeah, you know Gina, welcome to the Title Tales family. You most know, oh my God. Laverne DeShield said, thank you. Thank you, mama. I really appreciate you. I don't know, Tucci, you know food coloring causes cancer. Last time I heard that, I stopped eating red velvet. Tina Marie said, I want to be in your family. Oh, that's what's up. Love you too, baby. Also, Quida said, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, we got Brian Tarver said the Obama E had me shooketh. You know, they also had E that had the Tesla symbol. Diddy be buying designer drugs? What's wrong with that man? Also, Teresa Bullock, thank you so much for the super chat. Illegal Paralegal said, thanks for being boots on the ground, T said, you're welcome. And also, Pats v. Mo 2024, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Cecilia Elkins, thank you for the super chat. We also got, who we got? Okay. Let me stop picking up these money and get to work. Okay, right? Let me get to work. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I know. Okay, so listen, where do we start, right? Let's start from the top. Okay, so first let's talk about Gina. I know y'all heard about it. The defense really told on themselves. They really said, first of all, how do they know where Gina is and the prosecution don't know? How do they know that Gina's not coming? Gina actually said she never wanted to testify. If you never wanted to testify, then why did you give statements to the U.S. Marshals to get the warrant to raid Diddy's place? Again, Gina to me, and this is all my opinion, is playing a very, 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 very dangerous game. Also, you guys, listen. I'm going to start requesting the transcripts so we can start putting a lot of these internet rumors to sleep. You know what? Consider this another love letter. The transcripts are about 500 each, but it don't matter because, baby, we are actually getting it word for word, okay? Oh, thank you. Mr. Master Mistake Maker said, love the trench coat. And also, Nenya B said, high heels and outfits, iPhone cameras, dark web vids. High heels, outfits, iPhones. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, I'm not on the dark web. Or am I? Let's go. What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's 10 toes down.
Huh?
I'm 10 toes down.
Are you really?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a big fan.
What's your
I
name?
ain't fan of
Cecilia
nobody.
Elkins. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, really quick, we have Pat Mosby. What's your name? Get in the camera.
10 toes down.
10 Toes Down. All right, you guys. What's up? It's 10 Toes Down. He's also on YouTube. We doing some meta stuff. Shout out to the YouTube family.
That's
All
right.
right. I hope you ain't talking any Manaverse stuff. Don't embarrass me, 10 Toes Down.
I'm about accountability. I hold people accountable. That's what I'm about.
Oh God. So I go on this page and he like black women, black women.
No,
Every time
I
I hear a
support
man.
black women.
Okay, but then we all good. You all go follow Mr. 10 Toes Down. All right. Let me get to this screening.
All right, love.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all follow and support this YouTube family, okay? Anyway, so Gina said it's not coming. The defense told on themselves because it is obvious. Hold on, let me get this angle. What, like this, right? It is obvious. As you can see, that Gina is actually, oh, look at the doggy. He's getting up there in age, but he's still out there loyally walking. Look at this. Ain't nothing sweeter than a little gentle dog creeping on its way. Oh, he's up there though. Anyway, I hope he let me shut up. Anyway, y'all, Gina. The defense told on themselves. They know where Gina is. They're telling us Gina's not coming. They're doing all this stuff. How y'all know so much about Gina, all right? On top of that, Diddy had a whole pharmacy when this house got raided. He had Coca-Cola, ketamine, straws laced with Coke and ketamine. He had eye drops. Again, I said it was the type of eye drops I used, Lumify, until the feds ran the analysis and they said, oh, no. Those eye drops had MDMA and ketamine in them. I said, those ain't the Lumify I'm using. I just used the Bright Eye one. They said that there was EBL wash that had coca, clear Ziploc bags, with coca and ketamine, MDNA. He had orange pills with a Tesla symbol. That was MDNA. Isn't MDNA the same thing as X? They had white pills, Xanax mixed with Coca-Cola, Xanax mixed with ketamine, Xanax mixed with meth, Xanax mixed with MDA, Xanax mixed with ketamine. He had blue-green MDNA. They even had rock in there. They analyzed it, though. They said they had purple rock, and I was like, is that crack? But no, it was MDNA. But listen, it was just one. Listen. So anyway, also, one thing I thought that was so wholesome for that monster, when they showed the way his bathroom looked, he had some pink oil moisturizer on the countertop. I said, why is it pink oil moisturizer? Well, it's the same bottle everybody has that's been around since 8 Things, right? Then they had a box That's okay. Then they had a box. That said Puffy. It had clear pills and crystal, right? They had. What are you doing? What's up? What are you doing? Yeah, you're making me nervous. Then they had, no problem. Then they found micro dosings of mushrooms, okay? Then they found purple rocks, MDMA, right? There was baby oil. There was Astroglide. There was, oh my God. You know the best thing for the thing was? So listen. In the courthouse, they had them show where the baby oil was, right? And they had these 2 bags, one with 25 bottles of baby oil, and then another one with 25, and then another one with like 35 bottles of Astroglide. He came in like he had just come in from a Costco haul. The special agent was like, okay. And I said, if this is the way 25 and 35 bottles, he could barely lift it. Can you imagine 1,000 bottles? And he hit, Wendy, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the Cash App. Can you imagine the way things would look with 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Big Empress Energy said, Tisa is a native New Yorker. The way you interact with the public and YouTubers, I can see your heart. We love you. Oh, thank you. Also, where are we at? Okay, right? So anyway, hold on. Let me get a good angle. Am I at a good angle? Do you guys like this angle? In the halls of justice. Or do y'all like this angle? Or do y'all like this angle? Like this. With the courtroom. I kind of like this angle because it looks like more official. What y'all think? Kalea Lily said, you doing your thing, T said. Thank you so much. Okay, so listen, right? They found mushroom pills. He was on mushroom. He was on purple rocks. It was MDMA mixed with Molly. Who knew, right? Lots of baby oil, lots of Astroglide. You know Diddy keeping Astroglide. He needs to invest in Astroglide. I'm sure he was about to get Teresa to make an Astroglide. Anyway, right? Oh, now there's the best part. They found not only the chopper with the serial numbers, but they actually found handguns in a suitcase with a loaded magazine clip and boxes of ammo. Now, they tried to say, oh, we had that because it was right next to security. And I said, if it's right in security, why didn't you have that blicky literally on you so when things get sticky? If it was right there, then why would you actually do that? It literally makes no sense at all. Snag of Film said, damn, how much dragging can one ninja do? I don't know. Let's see. Also, yeah, exactly. How much rugs can it? It was insane. And get this, it was all in this like vintage Gucci case, Gucci pouch, which no lie, I was like, this is kind of cute. It was black. It had just one stripe. It was tasteful. Yeah, it was like very Dapper Dan, okay? Anyway, Miss Liz said, Tisa Pearson, oh yes, be safe. A TikTok in Denise was... Stop it! Jesse Weber reported it. Please have security watch you. Almost home, Kyle. You in the news. The break for all you do. You welcome. Elvira Leo said, thanks for the updates. Keeping it real. Don't worry, y'all. I got security. It's cool. Caroline, what's up, mama? Said, we met Friday. The girl with the braids. What's up, mama? I admire your drive. Francine, thank you so much for the Cash App. She said, I admire your drive. Wishing you even more success. Hope we cross paths again. Fun fact, Diddy, oh my God, thank you Lisa B. Thomas for the Cash App. Hope we cross paths again. Fun fact, Diddy went by Frank Black. Cassie's daughter is Frankie. If you need a summer moderator, I'm in. I'm a high school teacher with tech skills. Thank you so much. I'll reach out to you. But let me tell you something. I think that Cassie might have named him Frankie for something else. They said Famer Tube is next you in this YouTube. Oh, okay, let me move over. Sierra side. Hold on, let me move over. Just a little bit for you guys. Everybody left, so we can actually be live from the courthouse. What y'all think, right? Sierra's side said, can you and other content creators come together for the transcripts and share among each other? Maybe. I'm getting this. Listen, I'm buying the transcripts because y'all are always funding me. If any other creators want to go like 5 on it, I'll be happy to do that. But I'm using y'all funding to do it. Thank y'all so much. I reinvest into the channel. Mary Quaylen, so we need to thank the super chatters for helping buy the transcripts. Mary Quaylen, thank you so much for the super chat. Donya Knows, welcome to the YouTube family. Also, Doree Angels at Tisa, my workday is not complete without your updates. Thank you. Okay, so listen, let's get through this. Thank y'all so much, okay? So here we go, right? So they had a box of ammo. They was like saying, so with the box, let me move over. I'm like blocking the entrance. Y'all know I love being in the way. Okay, so in the halls of justice. Okay, let me stop. Okay, right? So anyway, I'm Millie Rock. Okay, let me stop. All right, ready? Nanya D said, I have a feeling Diddy makes money with the Smex videos. You actually might be right. Okay, let's get... Okay, let me stop. Hold on. Also, Callie B said, so proud of you, been following for years. You're the only one killing the game. Me right now. Okay, let me stop. Listen. Who said cringe, get on with it? CBRC, baby, that's my channel. This is Cringe Central. No, I'm not. Just for that. This is my channel. You don't like it, you know what you can do. Okay, so let's get into this, right? Okay, so they said that, Diddy's kids are back in the courtroom. I'm gonna run through everything I saw and heard and give you my take, right? Diddy's kids are back in the courtroom, okay? They said, played, empty hose, armored, blah, 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 search. Oh, so then Kenny Garagos is questioning the marshal that did the raid on Diddy's house. And she's trying to make a big deal out of the fact that Diddy has an iron gate. And instead of ringing the doorbell and being like, ring-a-ding-ding, they took the armored tank and just smashed through. And I get the point she was making, but that's what happens in a raid. Why would you alert security you about to get raided? We already saw what happened in New Jack City. Everybody knows the drugs get dropped down the toilet. Diddy, what is you talking about? So they're trying to make us feel sorry that his gate wasn't even destroyed. It was just off the hook a little bit. Man, that's the least of your worries, a smashed gate. You know what I'm saying? Also, Callie B said, so proud of you. Been following for years. You are the only one killing the game right now. Thank y'all so much. Also, Jacqueline, thank you so much for the super chat. Right? Also, Beverly Ann said, doing such an amazing job keeping us informed and entertained. Love your spirit. Melissa Lee said, Tisa looking beautiful again and working hard. Are you taking shorthand to bring us breaking news? Yes, I am. And Shajim Dropper said, we read in transcripts on Atmos Love Zone. Okay, great. And also, Luvia Reza said, please keep it going, girl. You're making my day. Watching you from Canada. Okay, right? Baby, the transcripts are born without live commentary, all right? So anyway, here we go. So then they were saying that she was like, you could have alerted them. I looked at the gate. The gate looked exactly the same. Then she was like, so it was about 80 or 90 agents that came, and he was like, no, there wasn't. First of all, it was a mansion. You needed a lot of people to get out of there before, because the search warrant is only for a certain amount of time. I think you got like 12 hours. You can't be in there for like days at a time. Second of all, he was like, no, that was including special units and all this stuff, right? Again, they kept going back to that gun, saying it was by security. And I'm like, but if this was security, why would you hide it in a suitcase? Even if somebody rolled up into your house and it was something with like a hostage situation, how are you going to go in and get your hammer out of a suitcase? What are you going to tell the hostage people you're doing? I'm just looking for an extra pair of socks. It makes no sense that that gun was being used for security because it was too hard to access on just a regular day, right? They said there was a music, then they showed a picture and Diddy in his bedroom, he had like a Restoration Hardware cloud couch in the corner. And they were like, did you see this? The pillows are all astrew. And I was like, this looks like my room on a regular day. Again, I'm not feeling sorry for this whole raid thing. This looks like my regular room. All right. So what else happened? They wanted to admit this photo under seal that had somebody in it. I don't know what it is. Nobody could tell, and they were all very, very cagey about it. You know what you're saying? Luvivia Reza, I think I already read this, but I'm gonna keep reading it again. You said, please keep it going, girl. You're making my day. Watching you from Canada. Also, we have, hold on, guys. Also, we have Donya Knowles, right? Okay, so anyway, they said they took over 500 photos of Star Island. They reviewed all the photos. And again, I said, so then at the end, they ended up asking the special agent U.S. Marshal, and do you have a gun? Lots of people in Florida have guns in their home. And he was like, do they? And she was like, do you have a gun? And he was like, yes, it's issued to me for my job to have a gun. And she's like, so you have a gun? And he was like, yes, that is correct. And they're like, no further questions, Your Honor. Like, she ate that. Okay, Tinny, you got that. Right? Anyway, also then Dr. Dawn Hughes came on the stand, or as I like to call it, Diddy's worst nightmare, right? She had a blonde bob. She had on a beige or tannish pinstripe suit to match the blonde. She looked super official. She is in clinical psychology. She's trained in trauma, domestic violence. She is an expert on trauma, abuse, and addiction. She does clinical. She's been doing this for 30 years. She testifies. She does reports. She assesses. She's a professor at Cornell University. She deals in interpersonal and traumatic stress. Listen, Diddy's team was doing everything they can to object. They did not want her to speak because they don't want a jury to hear her professional opinion. Now, listen to her professional opinion because she broke it all the way down. She said, listen, anyone can be abused. It defies social status. It defies what's in your bank account. Whether you're strong, weak, whatever you want to call yourself, anyone can be abused, right? She said abuse isn't just hitting, it's behavior. The constant threat can make you feel trapped. Also, all abuse, domestic violence comes with love, attention, attraction in the relationship. That always has to be there. And she said there's physical, and the person teaches you that there's physical consequences from abuse and the higher concept leaning. And I'm right about this. Mark Garagos was like, no. Well, not Garagos. I want to call him Mark Agnifilio Jr. because he looked like a younger version of Mark Agnifilio. I wonder, does Mark Agnifilio have kids? I don't know. They seem like they're from the same tribe, the same bloodline. DJ See No Evil said, thank you. I've watched different YouTubers on Diddy's case and they don't know half of what you do. I appreciate you doing. So, thank you so much for tuning in. And shout out to all the YouTubers trying to make it work, but also shout out to you, DJ See No Evil, for that super chat. Also, Crystal Hayes says, thank you, Tisa. Keep up the great work. Tora from Orlando, Florida. Also, Gadget Girl 99 DS said, great job, Tisa. Get some hot chocolate. It's cold here in New York. It's freezing here. God is punishing New York. Where is summer? Look, where is summer? Katie Aldina said, the halls of justice. Watch out. Tisa's house. That's right. Moni R said, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so listen, right? Anyway, she went on to say, right? Domestic violence is not just about hitting. They establish their power in other ways, right? Hitting instills fear. The fear goes into relationships. Then you spend all your time trying to appease a person, thinking about how to stay safe. It's a debilitating emotion. Roller coaster versus butterflies. The violence doesn't have to happen all the time. There's threats, there's control, there's put downs. But get this, the more the violence happens, the harder it is to get through it. She said there's a psychology of abuse, the threatening, the controlling the victim, the intimidation, throwing things, controlling them, making them feel entrapped, intimidating them so they feel like they can't make their own choices. They said the psychological effect is basically you end up walking on eggshells, right? Because you know that you have to manage this person's emotions because the abuse can come out in any time. And that's when she also said that sex abuse is so horrible and private and damaging. It's a special type of harm that causes irreparable PTSD. You, on top of everything that's going on, you experience shame, degradation, humiliating, and you can't talk about it, right? Oh my God, Carmel Bennett said Dawn Hughes is the same doctor that ruined Amber Heard. I know that's right, Carmel Bennett. I know that's right. She is. She's very good at what she does. She said that there's emotional abuse, right? They instill you with a low sense of self. Hold on, guys. They instill you with a low. Hold on, really quick. You know what? I think I'm gonna wrap up like around 4:40 or 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to tell them, like it's like 4:12 right now, so it's like 18 more minutes.
4:30.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, but what's going on? Are you sure? It's fine. They're fine. But go on. No. The what? Oh, yes, I do know Anusha. Yeah. But New York Times, yeah. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm just going to take a quick picture. 1 second. You guys can watch me take the picture. Yeah, not you. Hey, how you doing? Oh, thank you.
You do your thing.
1 second, guys.
That's what I'm telling you about. You're the best podcast in the world. Take care.
Hey. Okay. Hold on, guys. Thank you. Okay, so I got written up in the New York Times. Did you know? Thank you so much. Okay. I got written up in the New York Times, guys. They were just taking pictures. Oh, okay. Anyway, forget about it. Forget I said anything. Let's move on. Okay, really quick. Danielle Walini said, hey, you said, get it, girl. Thanks for the updates. I love it when I catch your lives. Also, Carmel Bennett said, Don Hughes is the same. Okay, oh my God. Thank you so much, Danielle. Also, Nicolette Rosa, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Tricia Link said, thank you for the real tea. So happy I found you. Keep up the great work. Also, April A, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Renee Minzy, thanks so much. And also, thank you. Have a good one. New York Criminal State Court of Justice Appeals. People are just giving me so much information. Thank you to everybody. Also, we have Lee Triggs said, you're the cutest. Please share your star sign. I'm gonna let y'all guess. What y'all think I am? Am I giving earth energy? Am I giving earth, air, fire? No, that's fire. Did anybody watch Avatar? Water. Y'all remember Avatar, right? Earth, air, fire, water. Yeah, anyway, have y'all seen the Avatar? The new live action is really, really good. Incognito, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so let's get into this. Shall we? All right. So anyway, she said that there is emotional abuse, low sense of self, depression symptoms. Listen, but they said the worst thing about it is you can't talk about it. And if you can't talk about it, you can't get help. She said there's also financial abuse that goes into that, right? Fendi Smith said, you're amazing, girl. Love your voice. You're spunky. So there's also financial abuse. There is psychological and financial. You don't have the psychological or financial means to leave. So the financial control, they make sure that you never have access to any tangible resources. So you always feel like you never can even plan on the higher level of how you want to leave. Now get this. This is why Diddy's team was so upset. When I tell y'all, the jury was locked in. The jury was locked in. They were dripping off of every word she said, just locked in, taking notes. Even the jurors that I felt like before were not pro Diddy, because I don't know what any jury's saying, but it didn't seem like they were buying what the prosecution was selling. They were locked into, dripping off of every word. This woman was so informative, and she really broke it down as to, right? She says, the thing is, and this is the thing with bad abuse, you don't need everything. And oftentimes, sometimes you can have everything at once, and sometimes they happen little by little, the controls. She said the more trauma you have, the worse it is, because it increases by severity, magnitude, duration. She said that sometimes they do show you love, companionship, kindness. There's always a honeymoon stage after they beat your butt, and they turn into what you always wanted. And it creates this type of psychological confusion. A trauma bonds your needs and your wants and the attachment. And then they give you intimate reinforcement for good and bad, right? She said it's like a slot machine, right? You might not win, but you in that casino every day. That is a trauma bond. She said, they said that, and they have you involved in acts that are so humiliating that the only person you can even talk about it is the person that tortured you. And she said it's harder to leave because you don't have agency at that point. Now listen, the defense was doing everything they could to discredit it. Brianna Walker, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Kareem Vanessa said, hi T, said that Kid Cudi testified. No, but he is 100% testifying tomorrow. The defense ran out the clock. Also, Coretta K. Carlson, thank you so much for the super chat. And Shador Only on Me, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Diane Decker, thank you for the super chat. And Tell the People with Sunny said, congratulations, the next Wendy Williams show, justice for Wendy. T Boomer said, it's over for Diddy. Keep up the good work. Thank you. And Tammy Mitchell said, sending protective energy. I know that's right. Brianna S. Walker said, you're the best with the giving the play-by-play. Thank you. And BB said, thank you for all that you do and speak out against abuse and violence. This is all learning experience exactly for all of us to protect and educate our children and loved ones. This continues. Listen, this continues to heal my soul. DB and SA survivor. Shout out to you, mama. House of Glam. What's up, Jamie? Jamie said, hey friend, I'm going to come next week to get you some pictures of the courthouse steps to post in your tattletales. I'll see you soon, Jamie. I owe you dinner. Lorraine S said, good look, Tisa. Pay the haters and naysayers dust. I know that's right. Also, D12NO, thank you so much for the super chat. And hold on, forget Froglet. 72, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Relaxation Nation, thank you for the super chat. Leo Reign Supreme said you're doing the damn thing. Keep it up. And also, Survivor Speaks said, Tisa, you're the truth. Love showing love to my fellow content creators. I know that's right. Also, really quick, Brianna S. Walker said, love to interview. I would love to be interviewed, Brianna. Hit me up. Hit me up. Okay, so listen, right? Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, really quick, right? They said that also you experience love bombing. When the victim tries to leave, you shower them with gifts. And it takes a victim super multiple times to actually leave. It creates an intense fear because they don't know when it's coming. And you know what Diddy, that's the one thing everybody testified, that he would mollywop her out the blue and it would be horrible and shocking. Robin the Slumber said, no tax on tips, just pass. Enjoy your tax-free super chat. You're the hardest worker ever. You better stop lying. There's no tax on tips. Baby, you might see me in the King of Diamonds. S.R. Ridley, a nurse you can trust, said, you need a neighborhood watch for predators. We need a neighborhood watch for predators. We definitely do. Okay, so, I'm sorry. I know, can you move back? You like, I can't concentrate. Okay, so they said that the victims often return. It's often not free, so it's better in relationships. They said how we deal with stressors, right? They get a formal strategy. Cynthia Hill said, thank you for everything you do, T. So we all need to have a meetup with you when this is over. All right, I'll bring my secure tie. Okay, so listen, right? They said that how they deal with the stressors, they have a formal strategy. Some of them go to police and protection, but that's usually the last thing that actually happens. They say there's also informal strategies, talking to get their, that's like talking to their friends and family to help get them out, right? They also have coping strategies. They plead, and this is where Cassie comes in, and the jury was like, they plead, they placate, they fight back. It literally is like they are at war. In Perry said, beautiful black woman doing her best to give us the best reporting on this case. So proud of you. God bless. Thank you so much, In Perry. Also, CC 2 Cents said, do you think Diddy treats beautiful women so poorly because they bring out an insecurity in him? Like their beauty highlights something he feels he's lacking? I honestly don't know. There's something wrong with that, man. We're going to talk about it in depth later on tonight. But there's something it's given trauma, childhood trauma. Mama Heather said Cassie was in survival mode. Her brain was programmed by trauma and she was in zombie mode. Exactly. That's what this witness broke down. They said the last one, the coping strategy, is the most common, right? And she said you don't use them all at the same time, but you definitely use them. Also, Bridget M said you're doing an awesome job. You deserve all the blessings coming your way. Thank you so much. Also, really quick, Natural Chronicle Braid said, have you heard anything concerning Alan Cardi? Not yet, but they're revealing the witness list day by day. Also, Nicole Valentini, thank you so much for the super chat. And Keena Green said, you make my heart smile, and we are blessed to have you on YouTube. Oh my God, thank you guys. Okay, so listen. They said, so what usually happens, they weren't talking about Cassie. They are saying in women that experience, or men that experience this abuse, they go on to placate the abuser. They apologize, going along contingently. And what they think, they said it becomes passive versus action. They avoid, they minimize, they disassociate. The change in awareness and physical. This is where the defense got really mad. They were like, objection, objection, objection. She said, listen, there's a change in awareness. Your memory is dependent on associating things. So you can remember an event like, yeah, I got mollywopped, but you don't remember anything else around it. And it has to come out and fragmented, right? Ariam said as a victim, you also won't speak up if you're worried about the safety of your family. Exactly. And I think that's what happened with Cassie. Melissa Lee, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, there is preventative taking, right? She says they also take preventative stuff, right? Holly Masor said, you the only one I'm getting this tea justice from. They said that you can take preventative measures, right? This is the crazy part. They said you are so in tune with your abuser and you've learned so much not to feel any feelings and not to remember anything. You still express your love and loyalty to them because you're so in tune. All you're worrying about is just like appeasing them, almost like a kid that gets abused. They're trying to appease their parent, you know? Solar Play, thank you so much for the super chat. I very much appreciate you guys. All right, they said that there's a victim's language, that victim, a lot of people don't like being seen as victims, so they use minimizing language. It wasn't that bad. They leave out graphic details. There's no, I'm not a victim and they're not an abuser, okay? It's wild. But again, the crazy thing is, this was like her reading Cassie's testimony. Floricia LaBelle, hey, what's up? Floricia LaBelle, thank you so much for the super chat. It got so bad that it seemed like they were just reading down Cassie's testimony, that they were like, are you working with the prosecution? Did you see the notes? Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. What's up? Did you see the notes? Are you working with the prosecution? They literally accused a world-class expert of 30 years of throwing everything away so that she could get this prosecution, this testimony. And she was like, absolutely not. What's going on is, this is general. Every person that suffers abuse like this is what happens to them. Also, Floricia LaBelle, thank you so much for the super chat, right? They said, hey, have a good one. So they also said, it's too painful to admit the self-blame and shame. It takes years to understand what actually happened. They said that they never talk about reality. They use minimizing language, trauma memory. They said that the pain is very, very bright, but they lack the details because they are in combat mode, you know? She sees it all in combat veterans, with law enforcement, with child sex abuse. They said in general, the psychological effect of stress, central details, what they think. The only thing that they remember is what is significant. Mind you, they can remember being raped, but they might not remember any details except for the way the ceiling was cracked. You know, you remember little things, but only what was significant to you, right? And the significant, and they're like, well, you don't remember central details? And they're like, only what is good for us. They said that anyway, they said it's fragmented, narrow of attention, all memories. They push it down in their brains. Baby, listen, they literally acted like they read Cassie's testimony. The defense was so mad. When I tell you, the defense was like, objection. And then they're like, so you get paid by the U.S. government. And she's like, I have a fee of $6,000. So they're paying you $6 an hour. And she's like, everybody pays me $6 an hour. I'm a world-class expert. Then they tried to say that she was actually 100% to God working for the prosecution. She was like, if you don't get out of here, they were trying to hammer her every which way, but it never really worked. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna pack up, but we're not getting off live yet. Hey, what's up, mama? Say hi.
Hey, Miss_knockout on the clock.
That's right. Good seeing you out here, mama. Okay, so listen, we're about to get into the car, but don't worry, we're gonna keep live streaming, because that's what we do, because I've been waiting all day for you guys. So we are going to keep live streaming while I tell you what happened in court. All y'all ready for this, okay? Hold on, y'all going to have to look up a note for a second. Anyway, the defense literally, again, the jury was locked in. Even the males were paying attention. I actually found this was a good point, that the men were paying such close attention to what was going on and what was happening. Because sometimes I feel like they be checked out. Again, I don't know what's in each juror's head, but sometimes I feel like they be checked out. This was so excellent. Everybody was listening. Even people that seen before, not the Bible the prosecution was cooking, they were locked in, right? Listen, they were paying attention to detail, right? Okay, so then the men were locked in. It was exaggerating the way they were distorting this. Okay, so the defense brought up malingering, right? And they were like, so that's when people lie, because I guess they were trying to say that Cassie was lying. And she's like, that's not what malingering is. Malingering is, the thing happened. This is malingering. So the defense tried to say that what about somebody suffering from malingering? And they were like, no. Malingering isn't lying about something that happened, right? Thank you so much, Lisa Snipes. They said malingering isn't lying about something that happened, okay? It is saying that it happened, but you are now lying about your symptoms. She said that doesn't happen a lot, right? Fiona said, you're doing such a great job. I hope this doesn't just focus. Why am I losing the stuff? Hold on. You said, Jessica said, take up all your space, Tisa. Everybody, give her 6 feet. Thank you. Also, Daniela Walina said, everyone in chat, bless Jess $1 to $2 all to help Tisa stay longer and keep us updated. Bless her and her hard work. Thank y'all so much. Also, Philadelphia said, your updates are always on point and full of personality. Thank y'all so much. Let me just get through these. Maverick Me said, great job, Tisa. Check out my book, Rough Woman, Not Angry Scored. I love that. And Tom Fields, thank you so much for the super chat. Lori Miller, thank you for the super chat. Also, SNR said, have you heard if Allie Carter will be testifying? Not yet, but they're giving us a witness list day by day by day. MJ Dale Soul said, I'm surprised the gay stuff has come out on him. Listen, I don't know what Diddy's problem is. B1 and Only said, he's just like Ike Turner, a horrible human being. I know that's right. Also, we have, really quick, Snitsney, Sincity, Z6, and I'm addicted to your updates. Get it? I know that's right. Also, Enjoly70 said, DV victims will typically try to leave at least 7 times before they finally leave for good. Leaving is also very dangerous for the victim. Exactly, and Diddy was trying to pull her back in. Also, who else super chat did I miss? Did I miss anybody else's? I think I got all the super chats. Okay, let's continue. So the defense was doing their best to make them look like liars. DJ Big Doobie said, do you think Meek Mill and Jay-Z will be called on? I don't know about that. They're keeping it pretty tight. But you never know. We're getting stuff day by day. Okay, so hold on, y'all. Also, Nina Stevenson, thank you for the super chat. Emmy Nash, thank you so much for the super chat. And Maria C said, good job, says, God bless and keep safe. Hold on, I'm going to get a better angle, y'all. I know y'all tired of looking at my nose. Okay. I think I got all the super chats. Thank y'all for the listen. I want to say also thank you for the super chats. I'm going to purchase the transcripts myself. They are about 500, and I'm going to use the super chats to purchase it. Thank y'all. S. Rastafari said, bless, love, give thanks. Also, Mariner Shirley said, they said Allie Carter was the 3rd victim and the one that's missing, and people are stating that Diddy had her kidnapped, so she won't testify. It's not. In court today, Diddy's team admitted that it was actually, hold on, y'all, I'm just getting in the car. Hold on. Hi. How you doing? Okay, so in court, Diddy's team, y'all gonna have to take the close up. Okay, so in court, Diddy's team actually admitted that Gina Hunt was the 3rd victim, okay? Rihanna Berger said, hi, Tisa, following you. Africa. Thank y'all so much. No, Allie Carter is not the 3rd victim. Gina Hunt is the 3rd victim, and she's not coming out. She says she isn't a victim. She says she never wanted to testify. She said the feds made her do it. I don't know. Gina got problems. Anyway, at Muringer Shows, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on really quick. Also, Kim Jaimes said, thank you so much for all you're doing. Thank you. The creative leader said, keep your head on swivel, Tisa. Love your report, and thank y'all so much. Also, Chantel Renee said, keep going, beautiful. We got you. And Flower Child said, thank you, Tisa, for bringing us the real court experience. I appreciate your diligence and commitment. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, I'm almost done, y'all. T.D. Singh said, forget CNN, ABC, and Fox. We got Tisa. And Nicola, thank y'all so much for the super chat. Yeah, you're going to see me fumbling with the umbrella tomorrow. It's supposed to rain. And y'all know me and the elements are always fighting. Okay, so excuse the close-up. But, you know, I don't even know when I stay out. So we're just going to keep it like this. Okay, so listen, right? See if we can cut the forehead off. No? Okay. What about now? Okay. Also, Soria Say, thank you so much for the super chat. And Downer, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. So listen. Also, when we get into this, okay, the interesting about this is that Diddy's team was trying their best. Oh, Chantel Renee said, you're making history. Oh, stop it. And Nothing said, you're doing great. Looking good. Thanks, Tisa. What's up with Cuddy? He's going to be there tomorrow 100%. He was in the courtroom today. Well, that's not true. He gave a note to the prosecution about 10:30 that said he wouldn't be available for the rest of the day. He had something to do with work or a show or whatever. Oh no. Leon Lee, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Gina Wilkes said, love to see transcript from Don Hughes. All the traits of the victims mentioned are 100% true. The criminals need to be exposed. Susan McCluskey, thank you so much for the super chat. Annette Norwood, thank you. AMB said, super proud of you. Get it, girl. Okay, so listen. I know I'll get back into this, all right? So anyway, Diddy's people tried to really play in Dr. Hughes' face, right? They were mad that the men were locked in. They were trying to say that she was paid off. They were trying to say that she works for the government. And she's like, no. She literally, they're like, oh, have you not trained people on what to say in court? Because they were trying to twist words. Again, I've said it once and I said it again. I don't think that Diddy can actually win based off of truth. It can only be dirty tricks. So then now they're trying to let us know that an expert witness can't ever testify. You know what? She gagged them though. There was one time when they were like, isn't that true that out of all your cases, because you know Diddy's team keeps trying to make this into a man thing and a black man thing. They were like, isn't it true? Oh, CNL, Savvy Biz, thank you so much. You said excellent reporting, T. Says stay safe and keep on keeping. I am. So listen, they were like, isn't it true that out of every case you represented, you've never once represented a man? And she said, because I don't represent, no, he said, you never once evaluated a man. You only evaluate women. And she said, yeah, I don't evaluate predators. And the defense team was like, oh, moving on, Your Honor, moving on. She literally was like, yeah, I don't evaluate predators, so I don't know what you want me to do with that. She kept gagging them. They literally said, did you not write something on how to testify? And she said, yeah, I said wear professional attire. I said only answer the questions they ask you. Then they tried to make it seem like she was working with the prosecution into what to say, because they're like, you met 8 times and they never told you the facts of the case. Apparently for her to be unbiased, she can't use the facts of the case. But the way she said the victims of domestic violence on that scale, not just domestic, but PTSD, child abuse, all that stuff, the way they react on that level, it 100% shows you that that is the way that everybody, it's like you're a dog, right? When you tell a dog to go fetch, you go fetch. April A, oh my God, you said for the transcripts. Thank you, April A. I'm going to get those transcripts. Thank y'all. So anyway, it seemed like, right? It really honestly seemed like that's what happened. And it seemed like they were working because she was so spot on. But as all of you guys said, no, that's just what domestic violence people and survivors of SA and PTSD and trauma and abusive relationships, that's all how they act. Kay Nicole said, you're doing an amazing job. Thank y'all. I'm even taking y'all on the cab ride home. Usually I'm on Snapchat on the cab ride home, but you know, we doing this today, right? They said, so anyway, my takeaways from the cross with Diddy's team. They're trying to make it look like she's a little scandal and a liar, right? The attorney looked like a young Mark Agnifilio, right? Listen, they kept trying to downplay, keeping distance, ignorance. You're basically saying, oh, they also tried to go this weird thing that, is it not true that people sue civilly for money? And she was like, I thought people sued civil to get justice and money. He said it like that. And she's like, justice and not money. He had the most creepy voice. I was like, can you stop? I know you practice this in the mirror at home and you think you're eating, but this comes across as really creepy, right? As Rastafari says, has Clive Davis's name come up? I want to say it came up in the restaurant scene that Dawn was telling us when Cassie got punched in the stomach while everybody was eating dinner. And I think she said Clive Davis was there and a bunch of industry people and they didn't do anything about it. Okay? So they were implying that you're guilty because you're suing, because real victims walk away penniless with an apology, right? Thank you so much, Savage Justice. Savage Justice said you're doing amazing and a voice for the victims. Thank you so much. Literally, they were arguing that real victims walk away. Only people that aren't victims try to sue for money, right? Stephanie Washington said, just found you last week. May God make room for your gift. $20 on the transcript fund. I know that's right. Thank y'all so much. Also, listen, it was just gross to somebody wants justice because they want to make money. I made a big note. Here's my notes. I put in all thing. Diddy's team is gross. They brought up a woman of May 2015. Advocates for women that domestic violence when she was teaching them how to testify so that people have free expert witnesses testify in their domestic violence case and not have to pay $6,000. And Diddy's team turned that into something horrible. Stephanie Washington, thank you so much for the super chat. Tamara Saunders said, stay bold, strong, proud of you, girl. You got me stuck. Never been on your life. Thank y'all so much. Also, Katrina Carobo, so much for joining the family. Saba 500, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, really quick, we got a Coda Craft. Atelier said, stay blessed, Tisa. Oh, what's going on with the Cash App? Cash App, I don't know. They act like I'm embezzling money. There's a limit to how many Cash Apps I can take in a day. And don't get me wrong, the limit is something stupid like $200. I don't know. Cash App has been acting funny. I am on PayPal, and of course, it's super chat. PayPal is tisatells at gmail.com, or tisatells at gmail.com. Or no, it's tisatells at PayPal. Okay, there we go. Again, I made notes. Diddy's team is gross. They are gross. They are just gross. You're literally trying to make her seem like she's paid because she is an advocate for domestic violence team, right? The judge kept calling people to the bench, okay? They were saying, you can't do this. The judge was getting so heated. Furious Styles said, doing a great job for the transcripts, notepads and pens. Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you. The judge said some of the testimony went bring in. They're like, you're not going to do this. You are not going to do this. Judge Aaron completely shut them down, saying there's nothing here. You're not admitting this into evidence, right? And again, stop with trying to make it seem like she is paid off. You can only use this to refresh recollection. I did make notes, and I put ha 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 all across the page because they were heated. Leone said, you both need to do a special together. I know that's right. Katrina Kaga Wilson said, what are the talk of the tunnels about? You're doing an amazing job. They haven't bought up the tunnels yet. They have not bought up the tunnels, but we're in day 8. It might come up again. Ron Swanson said, saw someone cover the trial with all the actual text messages. I was shocked. Can you access and review those messages? If you guys want me to go live, I do have the messages. I can do that. I can go live with the text messages anyway. Anyway, it seemed like they were trying to run out of the clock. They were saying, so most of your income comes from testimony. And she was like, no. And she was like, 60% comes from testimony and 40% comes from my clinical practice, okay? She kept going. He kept saying, you met with the prosecutor 8 times. She was like, yeah, I know, that's normal. I kept putting, where is he going? On the redirect, the prosecution jumped up. They was ready. They had her go into her trauma. They had her go into how she's board certified. They had her going into how she's the best of the best. Desiree Lyons said, Tisa, we love you. I've been a fan since before I knew what you look like. Oh, yeah, but I had the cartoon Abby. Oh, thank you. You're even cuter in person. Thank you for always keeping us updated. Thank you. Okay, so what else happened? Listen, that expert witness, destroyed the defense because it made everything Cassie and even Dawn say come into focus. It really honestly did. Next, they brought in George Kaplan. That's the surprise witness they gave immunity to, right? They gave George Kaplan, his wife, they were setting, and he only testified for 15 minutes. He's coming back tomorrow. Edgar Verdi, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Oh, also really quick, Chandra only one me. Thank you so much for the super chat. He said that Diddy used to make him work between 80 and 100 hours a week. His job was to set up the freak offs. He says that, there was first D-Rock, Uncle Paul, and Ruben, and then he got more professional security. They bought, listen, that's what I wanted to say, y'all. Really quick, because I'm almost done with this live, but let me just say, I think KK flipped. Do you know why I think KK flipped? I'll tell you why. Because every time that somebody's a witness for the prosecution, they literally put up the most wholesome Leave It to Beaver picture they can of them. $1 million smile, looking happy, looking trustworthy. Every single time someone is a co-conspirator, they look like dirtbag central. They can make Jesus look like a dirtbag. They put up a picture of KK where she is glowing and smiling. They also put up a picture of Eli Maroon. That is a manager. I think he flipped too because they gave him a glamour shot photo also. I think he actually flipped. Anyway, Diddy's executive assistant said that he traveled all the time. He set up hotel rooms. He set up the freak offs. He said that he would check them. And oh my God, Melissa A. David, thank you so much for the transcript, friend. I appreciate you. Anyway, they cut it off. Right? Because they said Diddy used to send him to go get drugs. Diddy would send him to set up the freak offs. And the prosecution was like, Your Honor, we can stop right here. We can keep going. And the judge was like, you know what? Let's stop here. They're like, okay, Your Honor. So they excused him. Anyway, the defense jumped up and yelled that Gina is not coming. She's not coming. She was never coming. Again, how does the defense know where Gina is, but the prosecution does it, right? Anyway, the judge was like, and they were like, you shouldn't be able to use Gina's affidavit. And the judge was like, you made Gina a central issue. Okay, you identified her. She's been identified in the indictment. They're going to be able to use this Gina stuff. However, Mark Agnifilio said, Your Honor, can you let me write a letter to you explaining why you should exclude it, right? Explaining why this evidence should be inadmissible. And the judge was like, all right, you got till 10 p.m. tonight. Make sure you get me that letter. Okay, there's 5 witnesses tomorrow. We're going to end up early on Thursday. The prosecution says they're moving ahead of schedule. Me35, thank you so much for the super chat. Tomorrow, Kid Cudi, Morales, a hotel witness, Josh Cross, and Tony somebody. And there's also going to be a letter in support. Okay, so it's going to be a big day tomorrow. Blue Sunshine said, I look forward to your reporting every day. You need your own talk show. Okay, listen, you guys, let me get out of here. I'm going to be live again in about 2 hours, going on even more notes. But in the meantime, if you guys don't clock in with me, check for a few videos I'm going to make. And at the very least, I will see you live on the courthouse. Talk to me. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, bye, you guys. Bye, 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 bye.